Peloton is gifting you their best offer of the season. Get up to $600 off Peloton Bike, Bike Plus, or Tread packages. Choose the package that is right for you with accessories ranging from cycling shoes to non-slip grip dumbbells and more. Whether you have 10 minutes to spare for a strength class or 30 minutes for a running or cycling class, there's a workout that works for you with music that is truly iconic. So don't miss out on Peloton's best offer of the season. Visit onepeloton.com to learn more. All access membership separate. Offer ends December 6, 2022. Excludes Bike, Bike Plus, and Tread Basic. See additional terms at onepeloton.com.
This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, June 4th, 2021. We made it, everyone. It's the Relevant Podcast. Here in Orlando, I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me, alive and well, from Loverland, Virginia, it's Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Austin, Texas, author, podcaster, speaker, and Washington Post feature topic, Jamie Ivey.
Hey, guys.
We'll get back to that in a second. And from Nashville, Tennessee, the newest white member of the cast, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Minor. Exactly. I knew it was coming.
You survived.
If you heard last week's podcast, you know that this past week, Jesse, Derek, and I joined other friends in an area in a part of Wyoming where there's no cell coverage, and we spent a week doing, as Derek kept pointing out all week long, white people things. So Derek is now officially one of us. Because
I'm with y'all, baby. Hey,
did you jump over any fireworks? That's what I need to know.
No, I told you I wasn't gonna do that, Jamie. I told you I wasn't gonna do it. I don't care if it was legal.
Did all the other white people do it?
Nah, they couldn't find no fireworks.
Oh.
Yeah. It was the
grace of God. The grace of God. Hey, won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
I will say this. Derek was embracing activities that I feel like were normally, Derek, probably a little sketchy for your liking. At one point, me, Derek, and I think it was 3 other people had heard about this entrance to an abandoned gold mine, and we're like, "Well,
gosh.
that sounds like a Scooby-Doo adventure." And so we hiked for probably 45 minutes
up a mountain.
Yeah, up a mountain, and we were like jumping through rivers and stuff. Okay, this was a remote gold mine. And we got right to this is true. We passed the sign. First thing we do is we had to hop a barbed wire fence, and there is on the ground bleached white bones of something. Nope. Like that was our first warning sign of this may be the first act of a horror movie. Like we're into the trail and we find bones. That should have been an ominous sign.
Right.
Then we get, and there's this old handmade sign that's like an arrow that way that says that way to Purgatory Gulch. Okay. If Purgatory Gulch doesn't sound like the location of like numerous murders over the last 100 years.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what are. So that was our first 2 warning signs. But
Purgatory Gulch is either from like Tombstone or Adventures in Odyssey. It's like there's no in between. Yeah. Or I guess Goonies. Okay.
Goonies. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
but we made it all the way.
Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
We made it all the way to the entrance of the gold mine, and as we were about to go in, we saw what looked like a fresh campfire right there in the entranceway. The smell of possibly illicit substances emanating from the mine.
Don't forget the bear poop on the way up there.
Oh, and there was there was bear poop the whole way. Every warning sign we could have had that this was a bad idea, we got. But you know what? We survived, and it was quite the adventure. You know,
my whole thoughts were, y'all know how scary movies start off with the one expendable black guy gets killed. So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how do I leave these guys in the woods if things go awry? You know what I mean? And there's really no way. Like, it's just thick brush everywhere, you know? So
there usually is that one person, though, that they just leave behind. Like, I'm out. Like, we're not coming back for him.
Or he sacrifices himself.
Sacrifices himself.
If the bear's chasing a group of guys, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than one of the other guys.
That's good. Right. Yep.
I think, Yeah, Derek, I don't know how you were feeling. I went on a hike on a different mountain looking for a mine shaft, and we went straight up the side of the mountain. We went up, it was over 1,000 feet, and it was like, I mean, literally like I'm standing up and my hands are on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It was that steep, and we went up 1,000 feet that way. I live at sea level. I'm not in tip-top shape. And we started at 7,300 feet and we ended at 8,300 feet looking for a mine shaft. I about died.
Did this expose to y'all that you're in pandemic shape? Because for me, it did. I'm in pandemic shape. I mean, I'm not going to lie. 5 minutes into the 45 minutes, I'm like, all right, I need to turn around because, I haven't really done this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're at an elevation that is just, it's hard to breathe. I'm like, I don't know how people breathe 8,000 feet in the air. Like, it's just, I don't get it. But man,
I don't get like altitude sick, like when I stay places that high, but I did not prepare for going up the side of a mountain, how little oxygen I was breathing in. One of the other guys who was an accomplished climber had to teach me how to breathe. Like I was like, literally, he was like, no, you got to breathe like this, not like that. I'm like, I'm breathing. I'm just trying to breathe. You have to breathe differently up there.
You're like, I'm just from Orlando.
I live at zero. I live at literally zero sea level. Sorry.
Well, not only the altitude and just like, the difficulty that brings. To Derek's point, well, all of us are just now putting on something other than sweatpants for the first time in like 14 months. Okay. To say, okay, I'm coming out of a global pandemic where a lot of it, was basically just a war of attrition against me and an elastic waistband, right? Like that was most of the pandemic. Like who's going to make it out of this pandemic is the one that's comfortable in the sweatpants the longest, that can just ride this thing out in their house eating gummy bears. You're really going from the frying pan to the fryer here when you're throwing yourselves on top of a mountain, because much less do none of us have any experience in altitude or rock climbing or hiking. We've all been sitting around doing nothing for quite a bit of time here, and it was a real shock to the system.
I'm glad y'all all made it out alive.
Me too.
Yeah, we did too. And what's cool about today's show is coming up later, our guest this week is one of our favorite artists and author. He has a new project coming out. He's a book coming out in a few days. Propaganda is joining us. He also was on our trip.
So he survived as well.
He did. He's a vet though, man.
Prop he is our veteran. He is the black delegate's white ambassador. You know what I mean? Like, every time I see him, he's in like, he's like, yeah, I was just meeting with the guy from some crazy company. I'm like, why are you there? You're a rapper, but like, bro, like Prop, he's our ambassador, man. Like anytime we got an issue,
send him Prop.
Send Prop on out there.
Tell the truth though, Derek. Tell the truth. You've been watching Prop come for a few years.
Yeah.
And he's invited you and you've been skeptical. Some of your other friends have been skeptical.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know why you're riding horses and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you came and you went all in.
It was fun.
And you're coming back, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm pulling up.
Exactly.
Listen, look,
Prop knows.
When I touched down, I got a cowboy hat off the rip. Like that was just, you know what I'm saying? Off the rip. Now I can't find it for nothing. So whoever, you know what I'm saying? Jesse said he lost an iPod. So whoever, you know what I'm saying? Or AirPod. So,
AirPod.
You know what I'm saying? So
just
whoever,
a single AirPod.
Whoever took his AirPod probably got my hat. So there's some cowboy out there with a new hat and one AirPod. You know what I'm saying? But, I
last
did
year
that.
I left an Apple Watch. So there's somebody just styling.
I need the
now.
women's version of this trip. When can we get that together is what I'm talking about.
They have them they have women's trips. Okay. So if y'all are listening, we there's this organization called Refuge, and it's they just want to serve Christian leaders. They want to keep you in the game. They know that leadership and ministry is hard, and a lot of times people in these positions don't have friends, and so they gather you with no agenda. And you relax, and they just serve and love on you and give you adventure, and it is awesome. It's life changing. I've been going
Refuge.
For years.
Call your girl Jamie.
Refuge Foundation, and they have women's trips, Jamie.
So here's the only thing I'm gonna say is just make sure that you pack some vegetables because they're not gonna cook no vegetables. Like it's just gonna be steak, it's gonna be bison, chicken. But I think I probably ate 1.5 vegetables the whole time I was up there. But I guess it's Wyoming.
They had plenty of vegetables. They had mac and cheese and cornbread.
Jamie, there was one meal where we had steak, and then people had donuts.
Oh my gosh,
that's
true. A food coma.
Pack your own vegetables. It's BYOV. Bring your own vegetables.
That's true. That is funny. So in addition to prop coming up, we also, for our Quarter Life segment, which we only have a couple left in this series, we're joined by mental health expert and psychologist, Dr. Peace Amadi. She joins us to talk about navigating anxiety with faith. And big announcement, big show. We are so excited. On Monday morning, we release the summer issue of Relevant, and you early adopter listeners get to hear a preview before it releases about what's in the issue. It's not just here's a list of articles. There's news in this segment. There is a big announcement in this segment. We're very excited for you to, I'm very excited for you to hear about the summer issue of Relevant. Stay tuned for that for sure. We also have Relevant News, our Quarter Life Conversation. But right now, stay tuned. Up next, it's Slices.
What didn't break me made me better. I believe that. With you by my side, together we can touch the skies. Let's go. Striving for greatness, at the same time keeping my patience. Can't be racing to no early grave. I'm cool with just pacing. I can drop at any given time. I'm holding my aces. I see disappointment all in their faces. The turtle still cross the finish line. We done raised the bar so many times. It's only right they give me mine.
You're listening to Lil Baby and Kirk Franklin. The song is We Win. It's from the upcoming Space Jam, a new Legacy soundtrack. I know you heard it a week or two ago when we talked about it on the show on Relevant News, but I don't care. We're playing it in the break too. So there you go. We Win. Lil Baby, Kirk Franklin. Well, today's episode is brought to you by podcast creation platform Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor yet, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's free. There are custom tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will then distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and every major platform. The cool thing is you can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. All right, it's time for
Slices.
What do you got, Jesse?
Well, my story comes to us from the venerated newspaper, the Washington Post, and it's about this beautiful, diverse, amazing family.
Yes!
That is really shaking things up. And what a slice this is.
Yeah, what a slice.
I started reading this. I'm like, man, one of the matriarch of this family seems very familiar to me. Like, I can almost pin down her voice. Fascinating piece. I encourage everyone to read it. There's a family in Austin, Texas, doing some amazing things and really causing some trouble in the SBC. So what a slice.
Don't get me in trouble, Jesse.
I mentioned this at the beginning of the show, and I apologize for not circling back, Jamie. But yeah, this week, a few days ago, as you're hearing this, the Ivy family was featured in the Washington Post. Jamie, tell us about the article and your experience.
Yeah, so Sarah the journalist reached out early May, and I've had other people reach out like, hey, we want to, and I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm doing. But I really liked her and I trusted her for some weird reason. And we
she's great.
I like her. Like Aaron and I said last night, we like her. And so we spent hours on the phone talking. She came down and spent a weekend with our family. And then she wrote this article, and I'm proud of it. I think she represented our family well. I think, there has been a little bit of pushback from some people about a few things. But
what about? No, what about specifically?
I think the pushback from people who are like diehard Southern Baptists. I said in there, I don't consider myself a Southern Baptist. I go to a Southern Baptist church. Like I would ascribe to the Baptist faith and message, but I don't see the world through that lens. Like I see the world through a biblical worldview. Like I don't think like, oh, is this a Southern Baptist thing? And so I think that can be hard to read. She calls me a preacher a lot.
But don't you think the Southern Baptists think that they see the world through a biblical worldview?
I hope so. Yeah, for sure. But I think that could just be like, oh, wait, are you or are you not? I think that would be the question.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Are you saying you're not tribal in the sense that you're not going to hold?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not tribal. I mean, you're
I attend a Southern Baptist church, so it's not like I'm like she calls me a preacher a lot in there, which I think everyone should preach the goodness of Jesus. I don't think that is a title of a church. I don't know. I talk about CRT, which can be a little stressful for some people. I'm proud of it, and I stand by everything I said.
So how do you feel your family is represented?
I think they're represented great. Like, she captured the personality of my kids. I'm so proud of them. We talked about politics in there a little bit. My son Deacon made like the most profound statement. I was like, dude, this is your quote. He said he's so glad to see Trump out of power because he made it okay to say racist things. And I was like, dude, that's profound from a 15-year-old kid. So I was proud of my family.
That's awesome. We're proud of your family too. My question is, are you going to frame this whole piece and hang it on the wall? Like, when I go into a restaurant in town and they got spotlighted in the newspaper and they're very proud, and that hangs in one of those cool, I got one kind of behind me that's from a magazine.
Yeah.
Are you going to do the whole frame thing? Because I feel
hadn't thought about it.
Look, the Washington Post, I would put that on a short list of the most important newspapers, probably in the world. No lie.
Wow.
I'd probably put it on, if you had to narrow it down to like 20 newspapers, Washington Post would certainly be one of them. So it's a big deal. Would you, are you going to get the big frame thing right in the entryway?
Jesse, I hadn't even thought about it, but now maybe I should. I don't know.
You're going to get an unsolicited email from framing companies. I'm telling you this for a fact. They're going to see it and they're going to offer you the opportunity to frame it for only $200-something. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, just FYI.
You said only $200? You better take that thing to Hobby Lobby.
That's right. On the sale, 50% off.
Only. I was saying only with the quotes. It's always like some exorbitant price. But I mean, think about it. They're going around. They're like, "Hey, you got covered. We can frame it for you."
Yeah, you're awesome.
And
then,
Jamie, I think it'd be a very
Hobby Lobby.
I think it'd be a very nice gesture for you and your family. I know for me, one time my mom, when I first got my big piece in the student newspaper, which was a story about a drive-through Subway restaurant that opened near campus, it was a pretty big deal to get that framed. It was a big piece.
I love it.
It was some hard-hitting journalism. A drive-through Subway, believe it or not, folks. The future is now, and it's just a couple blocks off campus. So go over there and get that $5 footlong without even leaving your car. What a world!
There you go. What a world! What a world!
What a world! Framed for eternity. Okay.
What's your actual slice, Jesse?
Okay, my actual slice is comes from us from the world of art. Okay, I know a lot of people, like to invest in art, and, NFTs are having a moment. These, I don't know. Here's my problem with NFTs personally, guys. I like fungible tokens. They're kind of doing the non-fungible things. I like my tokens to be fungible. Okay.
When I think of Jesse Carrier, I think fungible all the time. Yeah.
I had really been banking hard on fungible tokens taking off. It's really bummer. That's non-fungible. But we all make bets in life. But the art world is kind of weird, because value is assigned to something based on factors that are honestly pretty hard to determine. There's a really great documentary on Netflix right now that, thanks to the algorithms for throwing it in front of my home screen all the time, called I think it's called Now You See Me, but it's about how easy it is, or how proficient people are at forging master works of art. But that leads to a really interesting question. Is if someone is in possession of a piece of artwork that is actually a forgery of a real piece of artwork, but the person who owns that piece doesn't know the difference and gets the same sort of satisfaction from viewing that piece of art, and the same sort of like enlightenment that the true masterpiece would be able to give them, what's really the difference? If it would take an expert eye to really understand the difference between a piece of a masterwork and a forgery, is there anything materially different about them, or does that at that point just become a commodity? Like, is art for the sake of art even worth anything, because the value we assign to it has to do ultimately with scarcity, not necessarily the aesthetic value. There's all kinds of really interesting...
But you're conflating two different things, enjoyment and value. and you can enjoy something that is not valuable and appreciate it for what it is. But that's different than the investor who actually does care about the quantifiable value of the asset. You know what I mean? It's two different things. So the person looking at the forgery or the print or the replication of an art piece, great. I have replicated art pieces in my home. I just think they're great pieces. I have a Matisse in my living room. That's not a real Matisse.
Yeah, but even though they're separate issues, they're not totally disconnected, because ultimately what the intrinsic value of that original piece, ultimately that value was derived because that artist was able to express something visually that was meaningful. Now, even if that expression could be replicated identically, what started the value of it was what they were able to produce visually. So anyway, there's a lot of really interesting ideas when you really start to think about art. And there's an Italian artist named Salvatore Garau who recently unveiled a sculpture, and the sculpture actually ended up selling for $18,000. Now, here is why this sculpture that sold for $18,000 was so significant. It's because the sculpture is invisible. The sculpture, according to the artist, is made of, quote, air and spirit. Okay, so
this is dumb.
I thought I had never heard a more white thing.
This exactly.
This, paying $18,000 for an invisible thing, Derek. You can say
I got so much money, bro. That's just crazy. Somebody was like, "I'm gonna pay $18,000 for nothing, bro."
Well, there's like a square on the ground where the sculpture evidently sits.
Sure it does.
And you get a certificate from the artist to tell you that you purchased the invisible sculpture. But here is how he says that listen, when you hear him talk about it, it all makes sense. Just trust me.
I appreciate the ingenuity. It sounds like a college kid, Jesse Carey, coming up with an idea.
Yes.
Anyway.
Listen, guys, this will all make sense. Let me just let him explain
it. Make sense, Jesse, because right now it don't make no sense.
When he explains it, you see this isn't just some sort of weird grift that this esoteric lunatic is trying to pass off on unsuspecting art people. You can tell he's thought about this. This totally makes sense, guys. Just listen to his explanation. Okay. The vacuum is nothing more than the space full of energy. And even if we empty it, there's nothing left, according to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, that nothing has weight. Therefore, it has energy that is condensed and transformed into particles. That into us is how we make the shape of God we've never seen. So, see, this is simple,
oh my
guys.
Gosh.
This totally makes sense.
This man has finessed all white people. This is what
it's a sculpture of God.
A shape a God we've never seen. A lot of this doesn't make sense, guys. Okay, listen. What you need to know is that a famous artist did it, and that means it's worth money. Okay,
oh my gosh.
That's my point here. Is someone reasonably notable in this world just made this thing up? He put a price tag on it, and that made it worth value. To me, that is interest. I will say this: it is interesting commentary about art itself, because if this artist can say the only reason this concept has value because I thought about it and I'm an artist and people have given me value, then this idea and my execution of this idea has value because I'm an artist. Like, to me, it kind of demonstrates not necessarily the hypocritical approach to art, but also how loosely we understand value as it pertains to specific works of art by specific artists.
Listen, all that sounds really, really fine and dandy, bro. I appreciate you going to bat for this dude, but the reality of it is,
me too.
Is he sold these folks a block of concrete for $18,000 because there ain't no sculpture.
You gotta appreciate
a piece of paper. And a piece of paper.
Yes, and a piece of paper. That's the finesse of all finesses. I feel like I'm in the wrong line of work. I'm about to put out an album with just nothing on it.
Yeah,
and just say.
What'd you say before, Derek? The dollars are in the what? Your grandma told you?
The riches are in the niches.
The riches are in the niches. This is a niche right here.
This is a finesse. It's a finesse. It's a finesse.
All right, Jamie, what do you got?
Okay, you guys remember a couple weeks ago we played a game where we guessed all the Bibles? Right, remember that game? And like, is this a real Bible? Is this not a real Bible? Well, there is this was in the Post this last weekend by my new favorite religion journalist, Sarah Bailey, that says,
are you a new subscriber now? Or are you just going to be promoting?
I'm a new subscriber now. Let me tell you.
Watching and post articles?
Right. No, okay, so there is a new Bible coming out. It's supposed to launch September 11th to commemorate the 20th anniversary of 9/11. And it is called the God Bless the USA Bible. All right. And within this Bible, it includes the U.S. Constitution and the Pledge of Allegiance inside of the Bible. This is a true story.
Whoa.
Right?
All righty.
Okay. So it goes a little step further. It includes lyrics by, our favorite Lee Greenwood, God Bless the USA.
God bless the USA.
God bless the USA.
And only the USA.
It is using historic King James.
Canadians?
It is in only the KJV.
God, we want all the blessings.
Is it his only KJV?
Yep. Yep. And right now they have about 600 pre-orders for $49.99, and it will ship to you in September.
Run it up.
How many pre-orders?
600.
I'm finna go pre-order mine right
600.
now, buddy.
So
I was gonna say I just sold some great invisible artwork, so I can afford it.
I got some money, man.
Okay, so this is what the guy says. Are you ready for this? This is Kirkpatrick. His name, I can't remember his first name, but he leads the people who are processing the printing of this. This is what he said. This is his quote. What we're trying to do is show children who aren't being taught about these things how these things came together. At the bottom line, it was just to let future generations know how this thing called America started. Why did they lean on it? What influence did they have at that time about the Bible? And so this is happening, you guys. This is happening.
I love that. It's like we need to show school children how this country came together.
Right.
First by telling them about Abraham, and then telling them about George Washington. You know what I mean? Like the conflation. Like, why do you want? It's baffling to me. Other than just this being a corny marketing ploy, which the whole idea of how can we market and sell Bibles is, we can just put a pin in that because that's I mean,
I was to say, are any of these themed ones just a marketing ploy to sell more? I mean, you know what I mean?
I mean, and that's a whole nother, commodifying the packaging of the gospel is an interesting, potentially problematic idea when you kind of start going too far down that road. But the idea of conflating American values with the gospel, beyond just kind of the whole conversation happening right now about the dangers of nationalism and Christian nationalism in particular, it also completely ignores the dissonance between those American values and the values of the gospel. And that's not an indictment on American values. It's just it's objectively saying, like, the Bible says, if you're being robbed of your coat, you better make sure you give them all the rest of your clothes too. It doesn't say stand your ground, right? Like the Bible says it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. America says go get yours. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not making an indictment on the values, but I'm just saying ignoring the dissonance, even the pledge. You can make a case that the Pledge of Allegiance is unbiblical because we're not called to pledge our allegiance to a flag. We're called to pledge our allegiance to a God and his kingdom. And so ignoring the dissidence, I feel like is very difficult, is very problematic because it undercuts the edge of the gospel. The gospel has an edge. It's good news, but it's still sharp.
Well, it also, not only does it undercut the gospel, it also undercuts that we're saying, like, if you're putting the Bible and the U.S. Constitution together, one, as Christians, we believe is the inspired word of God. And then you're putting the Constitution on top of that, and people would assume like, oh, this must be an inspired word from God as well, which is ludicrous and could not be further from the truth. But yeah, and so we're already dealing with Christian nationalism in our country, and now we've got a Bible that also has the Constitution in it. And Jesse, I was at an event one time and didn't put my hand over my heart for the pledge or for the national anthem because I don't pledge my allegiance to anyone but Jesus. And someone called me out and told me I was being disrespectful to our troops who had fought for our country. And I said, well, I pledge my allegiance to Jesus.
Hey, you know what? That person would have bowed to the king and not gotten thrown into the lion's den or the fiery furnace. That person would have just gone with the people.
Hey, and
Don't
you know
worry about it.
what?
You stood up.
There's another person in that fire with me.
There's another person in that fire. That's what I'm saying. That's right. That's right. You go in that fire, Jamie.
Real talk. I think it's actually very, very valuable for people to become intimately familiar with the founding documents. Like, I think that is a valuable exercise. You look at attacks on modern democracy. If people had more, knowledge of and even I think even you can be reverential about some of the founding documents that are meant to protect certain rights. I think that's a good, positive thing. And I think anyone who's a citizen of this country and subjects themselves to those values in the Constitution. 100%. I think it's a valuable exercise to become familiar with them and know how you can defend them. But to conflate them with the gospel, that's when things get dangerous. You know what I mean?
Equate them like these are equal things. That's a no-go.
All right, what do you got, Derek?
Yeah, so there's a big push for the vaccines. A lot of America is vaccinated, but we still got people, that's holding out. Still people that's holding out. So we got to incentivize that, you know what I mean? Okay. And what's happening right now, like, in Ohio, they got a raffle. You can get in the lottery for $1 million. West Virginia you can get in a lottery for $1 million.
Didn't a teenager just win a lot of money?
Are you serious?
If you can get in a raffle to win $1 million for sure. West Virginia just upped the ante. They said they're going to give you a assault rifle or some shotguns.
Wait.
My bad. It's not assault rifle. I'm sorry, not assault rifle. Hunting rifles.
It's a raffle, or everybody who gets one?
No, it's a raffle.
It's a raffle.
Oh, okay.
So they're giving away, I think, 5 shotguns and five hunting rifles and 5 shotguns. On top of that, but it's not just that. They're not just doing that. Like, man, this almost made me want to go to West Virginia. Because the lottery will also give one resident $1 million.
Okay.
And then they're going to give a full ride scholarship to somebody.
What?
A custom truck to somebody.
West
and a
Virginia, lifetime
kind of
hunting
and fishing license.
Wow.
So they on a full court press.
Yeah.
For the vaccination. In my opinion, if all of West Virginia is not vaccinated with that level of prizes, then the West Virginians they different. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like,
meanwhile, Florida, our governor's like, man.
Well, hey, listen, I'm gonna sweeten the deal. Okay,
you gonna add another prize, Jesse?
Listen up. I got this sculpture I'm working on forever.
Stupid.
Approximate value $20,000. Okay, it is an image of God reading the Constitution. It's unbelievable. Okay, it is God. He's thumbing through the Constitution. Now it is invisible. I will say this: it is invisible, and it exists only in the quantum realm of my own consciousness. But I do feel like if we want to get these West Virginians over the line, I'm willing to toss it in.
Hey, listen, that could be an incentive for any relevant podcast listener. They could just send in an email saying we got vaccinated. Jesse, you could pick a name and send them your invisible sculpture. I like it.
You could even make them personalized to each person. I mean, like whatever they like.
Listen, you can buy that and the NFT. Which is just a blank file.
And you don't even have to mail it. It just appears in your house.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot it to you right now. And I'm just like bewitched, just wiggle my nose. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Right in the foyer. God reading the Constitution.
All right, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Propaganda joins us.
Man, how you finna hate whatever God got planned? How I'm supposed to chase what I already am? Whole city. We are the culture. What up, cuz? You got them loving your bubbling, throwing dubs and doubling. What up, blood? You got them flying in just to say they've been up Hampton. What up, Holmes? You originated, teardrops on our faces.
You're listening to our next guest, Propaganda, with DJ Malski. The song is We Are the Culture. Well, our next guest. Propaganda is an activist, speaker. He was an educator at one point, and now he's a trailblazing hip-hop artist and poet. He's a friend of the show. If we've known him for years, he has a new book out coming out on Tuesday, June 8th, called Terraform, Building a Better World. He looks at the ways in which our world is crumbling, from pandemics to climate crises, social injustices to income equality, using the metaphor of terraforming, which is creating a livable world out of an inhospitable one. He shows us how we can begin to reshape our homes, friendships, communities, and politics. He also is doing a series of EPs. The first one is out next month. The second one's coming. You don't want to miss that. Please welcome to the show our friend Propaganda. Hey, man.
He also let me beat him in dominoes my second hand. So,
yeah, before we get in, we're going to talk about the project, but the listener should know that Prop was with us on the trip that we were talking about in Wyoming.
Yeah. West. Y'all remember that? When I used to be on the show, I used to say West all the time.
Yeah, man.
What's up, guys?
What up, buddy?
Hi.
Tell us your thoughts about last week. Like, any memories stand out to you? Any late night occurrences disappoint you? Any,
I don't know how much y'all shared yet.
We basically just said that Derek is he's an honorary white person after his experiences last week.
I've always said, I've said it multiple times on this podcast. I have a varsity level, no credit line, infinite credit line white card.
Thanks, bro.
I've often said that.
You are the black ambassador to white people, for sure. Yeah.
I am the black ambassador to white people.
For sure.
I mean, we could talk about Sufjan Stevens and Wilco, and
I can't even write none of them names. I don't even know.
I know what I'm talking about. I understand why y'all love Kelly Clarkson so much. I don't agree with it, but I understand why you do. It's just white stuff. So I was excited. It's good for my soul sometimes to be just like a fish out of water, to not try to be cool guy. So I enjoy these trips for that. And it's an excuse to sit up under Jesse and Cameron, who I admire so deeply, to be sit next to them. And this time I was able to bring a black friend. And my black friend was the blackest.
Derek,
when we walked in, the blackest dudes I know.
Like when we walked in, and there was a stuffed bobcat, right, in taxidermy, giant life-size bobcat. Derek just looked at it and he goes, "Oh boy, yeah."
Yo,
hey, bro, when y'all went to sleep, y'all don't know this, man. I walked around. I'm looking at these bobcats. I'm like, man, what is these folks that got me into, man?
I kept trying to be like, listen, I've been here. They not gonna eat us. I promise you. That's just what they into. I'm telling you, that's just what they into. Like, I would never bring the homie to something. It's like I'm recruiting for Get Out. Like, I would never do that.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
But the other thing about Prop too, Derek, we talked into going on mountain climbing, or climbing up in the mountains. Prop's having none of that. Prop's chilling in this thing. I think the most you rode a horse at one point, but for the most part, Prop is holding court by the campfire, making coffees. He's not jumping over bear poop, on his way to Purgatory Gulch. Prop is really embracing the spirit of this thing.
My relationship with outside is very clear and defined. I enjoy it. I'm just not going to take it on.
There you go.
So it's very simple to me. I don't camp. I feel like why would I leave my perfectly good inside to construct a subpar inside while I'm outside?
Right.
That's ridiculous. Like the Neanderthals figured out that it was better to be inside than outside. So why would I go backwards? But that said, I enjoy sitting outside,
right.
I still breathe oxygen. Trees are beautiful. The sound of a babbling brook is relaxing, and it was great.
Now, Jesse, in my defense, when y'all say y'all was going on a hike, I didn't know we was going on that kind of hike. I'm thinking it's like a greenway. You know what I'm saying?
Like
right along the side. Yeah, like a Nashville hike. Yeah. I'm thinking that's what we going on. when we crossed over the river, I'm like, oh, this a hike. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like
Lewis and Clark.
Did you think there was like a secret tunnel that like led to paved?
Bruh, I'm thinking that the mine is on the side of the mountain, and we hiking to the mine that's on the side, cut into the side of the mountain. I'm not thinking you got to go up a mountain, cross several creeks, and all the different. So that I got white bamboozled in this situation.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
because y'all left out all them different details about this hike. You feel what I'm saying? So
as soon as they put on them boots, I was like, yeah, nah,
right.
I'm not going.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get the signals because I'm new to this. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know the white
Derek's
signals.
wearing Vans.
I got some Vans, and my man's like,
I looked at that boy's feet. And I tried to flash him a cup of coffee. Like, sure, you don't want another cup of coffee, brother? I'm not gonna tell you what
so
to do.
like that's
but
what
listen,
I'm saying. Like I'm saying, y'all bamboozle me for sure.
Because hikes for them, see, to me, the ground is horizontal.
Exactly.
For them, the ground vertical. So I'm like, I'm not going on no vertical hike with y'all. And we already 7,000 feet, above sea level.
So then my pride kicked in because we walking up the mountain, and you know what I'm saying? I'm looking up. First off, I'm deathly afraid of heights. Like, no questions. I do not mess with no heights. But we get up there, and I'm like, he's like, all right, it's not that far. And it's really, really far. So we get up there, and all I see is
people with distance.
Right. All I see is dead tree stumps, rocks, and water below me. And so I got a question. I'm like, either I can, you know what I'm saying, cowboy up, you feel me, and keep going, or I could turn around and say, y'all, my pride made me go all the way through bear poop. Whoever was smoking weed in the mine, you know what I'm saying?
White people see a forest and they just channel their inner Odin. All of a sudden, everybody Nordic gods. And they ready to.
Well, the other thing too,
I miss the boot signal as well. Just FYI, on my hike moving up the side of the mountain, I showed up in my Nikes, and they're looking. They look at me and they're like, "Those shoes?" I think Jesse even commented, "I like those shoes, but are you sure?" And I'm like, "What? We're just walking. I mean, we're just."
What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, I'm on the side of the mountain. My hands are on the ground, and I'm standing up fully. I'm trying to go up, and I'm on a treadmill because my shoes are like, I'm kicking out all this stuff under me.
They're
I'm looking down, Derek, like you. I'm going, I'm from Florida. I mean, there's no.
The other thing too.
I'm not used to this.
Every time I look back, like, all right, we're gonna go up here. Derek's giving me this weird look, and I was like, hey, "What's going on?" He's like, "I just didn't picture you to look like this." Like, we talk every day on Zoom, and I feel like I was disorienting because I was probably 4 inches taller than he pictured.
Yeah, that's at the airport. That is true. At the airport,
he's like, he kept looking at me weird. Derek kept looking at me weird half the hike, and I'm like, dude, we talk every week. You see my face on Zoom every week.
For those of you that don't know, I'm just going to go ahead and clear this up because I'm sure there's some people that are experienced relevant for the first time. Listen, when I've only met Jesse via Zoom,
I've never met Jesse in person either.
Jamie, when you meet him, he is 6'1", 6'2". And
are you serious?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, he looked like he benched like 300-400 pounds.
Exactly. Like I would pick him up first, or like we were picking basketball teams. Jesse would be first or second pick.
Wow,
no
Derek, how tall are you? Because you're tall.
Yeah, I'm 6'2", 6'1", 6'2" ish. Yeah. So he's like my exact height.
Jesse and I are sitting down having lunch at the airport. I'm texting Derek where we are. He shows up. We stand up to hug Derek, welcome him. And the first thing Derek says to Jesse is, "Whoa, you're a lot taller than I thought." And we're like, "What?" And he goes, "I just thought you were like the funny short guy on the show."
I thought he was Seth Rogen. I'm not gonna lie.
On the trail, we got to worry about bear poop. We got to worry about sheer mountain faces. We got to worry about whatever's going on in that gold mine. And then Derek isn't convinced I haven't been body snatched the whole hike.
Like I'm just watching him crush this mountain. He's like,
and that's his second mountain.
Listen. First time I looked at Jesse, first time I saw him in person was at one of these trips. And my first thought was, this fool's gorgeous. Look at this man's body. That was my first thought. And I was the same thing. I was like, dang, he got that. Dang, he tall. Look at him, man. I'm like, I don't want to stand next to him. Keep your shirt on.
I was thoroughly. I did not get the. It's a pleasant surprise though. It's like, it's like You know, it's like they give you, you get those little boxes and you like for Christmas and you think it's going to be like some socks and it's an Xbox or something. Like that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, every time I look back at Derek,
this is your day.
Every time I look back at Derek, he looks like he's like not totally sure that this isn't like a Mission Impossible situation where this face is just going to be like ripped off me and I was tricking. He's like, that can't be him. Yes. That can't be the guy that I know.
It's the opposite of Tom Cruise because I thought Tom Cruise was tall and then I found out Tom Cruise was really short. It's the opposite thing.
Yeah.
Listeners are funny. I mean, social media has kind of changed it, but in the early years of the podcast, I mean, everybody was listening to us, but had no clue what we looked like. And you get a picture in your head.
Yep.
And then every time when they would finally see a picture of Jesse, nobody thought that was Jesse. They were like,
so
there's
funny.
no way.
I feel like I'm very average and I don't feel like I'm that tall either. It was just odd seeing Derek being disoriented every time I speak. Yeah. You know?
You are as beautiful as John Tesh. You walk into a room, you're Adonis among men. The light just falls on you. Your hair just blows.
The angels start singing.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Tesh.
All of a sudden, Kelly Clarkson just appears out of nowhere.
He's my fashion icon too. Is what people don't realize.
Now let's transition a little bit. So the trip during the day, the trips are active. We're going to go do things. We're going to fish. We're going to do other things. But then we have dinner and we have conversation. And the night just slows down. And then after the conversation, now it's 9, 10 o'clock. And some of us go play poker. Some of us go play dominoes. Some of us go outside by the fire pit and talk. Now, Prop, over the years, has said he's going to own the Bones table. He's going to teach some of these guys how to play. And he's going to rule the court. Derek this year played Bones for the first time, right? Or first real time?
Well, I haven't played.
Real time.
Normally you're either a spades player or a dominoes player. I play spades. That's my thing.
Right.
He's Prop is the domino guy. So I've played dominoes once, maybe twice. For the most part, I kind of been chilling, and I'm like, all right, I'll play dominoes, and I do what I do. I do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
So Derek's playing for the first time. Prop is so proficient at dominoes. He has a lyric about it in one of his songs. Here it is.
What up, Mars? You raising them kids. The definition is strong. Dámelo, dímelo, pásale modelo. I'm finna school you in dominoes. Y'all can't call it, y'all drip is Farrah Fawcett. I flip, I like to see them try to stop it. We ain't worried about y'all, whatever y'all got in stores.
That's a profound lyric. Yeah, I rock with that. That's profound.
If you love something so much, you're gonna put a lyric about your proficiency at that thing in your music. You own this thing. This is your thing. Derek sits down at the table. Another dude who's just learning sits down at the table. Me, Prop. Derek, tell us who won most of the games that night, please.
I'm trying to remember. I think so. Who won the first one? I think it was Cameron. Was it Cameron?
Yeah, I won a couple, but you
really Cameron was going in like. I think Prop, you probably like 1 for 10 though, bro.
This is like
y'all go ahead and let me save my comments to the end.
This is true. This is true. At some point, like I was scoping it. I have a hard rule. I don't do arithmetic on vacations. I don't do dominoes. Like I'm shutting. I don't do recreational math. Okay, I just don't do it. So dominoes are my thing. But I saw that Derek beat Prop. That master and
second
guru, master or like
my second
student,
game in. We gotta make sure
second
student
game.
beat the master. And Derek, and I can tell for the way Prop's walking away from the table that he's a little irritated about this situation. I was about to say something. I was about to, Prop, what happened, man? I thought you were good at that. I almost threw a little match on the fire. Someone put his hand on my chest and was like, hey, not now, man. Not now. Give him some time.
The thing about Derek is a professional trash talker.
Absolutely.
You can't really give him an inch.
No.
That said, I was like, I'm going to find it very entertaining if Derek actually cuts loose around all these men. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So part of me, it's somewhere in my soul was like, I am I kind of want to lay this down because I want to see him get hot. You know?
Do you believe this at all? Do you believe this? That he said you.
That's for me. I feel like I just won. You know what I'm saying?
You won the game. Now listen. Anybody who's a dominologist, and I don't know how many of your listeners are, but there's some people that are dominologists. Mm-hmm. You understand that, like, it's hard to play with somebody that's playing random because you can't really get no strategy in. And then secondly, it's hard to play the way you want to play when you're kind of also teaching.
Right.
True.
You know,
I give you all that.
Facts.
So I'm teaching as I'm playing. Now I'm not playing soft. It's just like if you coach in a game, it's like you're playing. I'm not letting you win. Right. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm not letting you win. Mm-hmm. Like, so they won the games. But y'all understand.
But you're putting an asterisk.
I taught all three of the players how to play. So if that's the case, my focus is on making sure that the whole game works rather than putting the smackdown on. Now, if it was just me and Cameron, who I taught him 3 years ago.
Which it has been. That's right. Yeah.
Which it has been. He's beat me a few times.
That's right.
But I mopped the floor with Cameron.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. I'll win 1 out of 3 if it's me and Prop heads up.
Now, next year, I'm done teaching. So,
game on. You're on your own.
So it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, who? Okay, of all the games we played, multiple nights, only one person slams dominoes down, calls out a score, and you look down and it was totally wrong. And that was Prop. And Prop, like, when I pointed it out, when I caught it, I'm like, Prop, that don't match up. And he was like, the look on his face, he's like, seriously, I would have been kicked off the table if this was.
He was
mortified.
In my defense, it was my birthday. And I had a lot of milkshakes.
Yeah, we had some milkshakes for sure.
I had some milkshakes, and it was my birthday.
I had a lot of milkshakes.
Happy milkshakes. Yeah, old-fashioned milkshakes.
Some good old-fashioned milkshakes. They were just old-fashioned. You know,
Prop celebrated his birthday right that day. He just randomly. By the way, we're in a van or we're in some SUVs, and we're heading over to another ranch, and we're gonna do some, hang out. Do some stuff, and just casually in the back seat, Prob's like, "Oh, guys, by the way, it's my birthday today." And we're like, "What? Like, how do you not mention it?" And it's like midday. Yeah. He's just like midday.
I was debating all day whether to say something.
Yeah, and so after that, we went all in for Prop's birthday. No matter what happened, hey, it's Prop's birthday. We're celebrating Prop's birthday.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We all in, who with me is all in. No outsider, everybody all in. You guessed it, whole crowd is a guest list. I suggest you relax when Cali native get restless. I know different cause I was shown different. But the truth is I am no different. We move as a unit, whole planet's the movement. If y'all ain't here with us, then it ain't worth doing it. It's unison, Nubian, Sufian. I ain't choose sides, I won't disturb the groove when.
Tell us about the new project. It's really exciting, man. Tell us about the book. It's coming out on Tuesday. Tell us the story behind it.
Yeah, so the book is called Terraform, Building a Livable World. It's crazy because this last trip, 2019, everything fell apart, label transition, management dipped, Fecto passed away, all these different things happened. And it was like, okay, I have to start over, This is when me and Derek did our first EP, and new management was just kind of asking me like, hey, what do you want to talk about for the next 10 years? And I thought to myself, this phrase, terraform, science fiction nerds, like you said in the beginning, it's the idea of like finding a distant planet and making it livable. And in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't know if you've been paying attention. Earth is getting less and less livable, Sheesh. So I thought this, so I wrapped this idea of this different types of poetry and short essays into this one book that kind of carries us through this idea of terraforming Earth and not only Earth, but our own lives, our own communities, our own selves, like in our own inner worlds. And it's kind of got 4 sort of it's kind of done in 4 acts, which are the names of the musical EPs. So the one that's already out is Terraform the People, right? And then there's 3 more. So there's Terraform the Sky, the Soil, and then the People, and then the Possibility. So yeah, that's sort of the way for which I'm trying to like carry the book and the poetry through. And it's also the titles of each of these EPs. So like I said, you've already heard Terraform the People. And coming up next is Terraform the Sky.
Do you have the book with you? Could you read us one of your favorite excerpts? Could you read us a passage?
Okay.
And I get the pleasure of mixing and mastering these projects. And when I tell y'all these projects are amazing, like they're crazy. So like everything he has is insane. Oh, side note, after the book drops Sunday, June 13th, we're having a pop-up in Nashville. So all of my relevant Nashville people come out, get your book signed. Also, my wife is, we're doing a pop-up. She's baking cupcakes, all different things. So we're doing it at Subculture Cafe in Antioch, Tennessee.
Subculture.
Derek,
Subculture
you're not going to believe
Cafe.
this. I'm going to be in Nashville on June 13th.
Oh, you got to put, so now it's me, Jamie, and Prop. You got to come through.
Oh my gosh, I'm coming.
So, yeah, come to the pop-up.
Aaron and Story and the kids?
No, just me. But
dang it,
I know.
I slept.
They're the best.
For South by Southwest, Story gave up her bed for me to
slept in the house. Yeah,
I slept in the house with South by. It was Story's bed. When I left, she was like, "You slept in my bed." I was like, "I'm sorry." All right.
Yeah, June 13th. Y'all got to pull up. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So here's a lot of the book kind of, each chapter kind of starts with what I'm calling little shooters. So they're little line poetry pieces, and I'll read one that starts the first chapter, Mission to Mars.
You had some shooters on your birthday.
I did have some shooters on my birthday.
Milkshake shooters. They were just milkshakes.
Yeah.
You see my comedic genius where I knew the recurring joke already. All right.
That was good. That
means I listened to the show.
That's true.
All right. Last night I asked Normal, how come you never explain yourself? She sighed, looked a little frightened, said, I was about to ask you the same question.
Sheesh.
That's the end of that one.
Sheesh.
Prop, did you read the audiobook to this?
I did do the audiobook.
Good.
Okay, here's one more I'd love to give you. This is at the end of the book. I often imagine present me being equal parts in awe and irritated by future me. I imagine future me being patient, still enjoying the slight pauses between breaths, consistent, continually asking me the same question. The question I won't understand until I am him. He will sit, we will sit at the close of every day with the eyes of an ocean of contentment and ask me, as is his custom. So, what have we unlearned today?
Y'all ready to sip some coffee in a room and cry? You know what I'm saying? Because that mug got me. If you feel me, like it's beautiful. I can't wait to get my hands on it and go through it for sure.
Yeah, feel like real life a TikTok loop. Control CV, another Jillian Roof. Came to the table, willing and able, trying to keep the hood safe, family stable. Appeal to your better nature, look inside our faces. We are human, we got issues trying to work on those, yes. But why I gotta tell you the sight and the smell of your boot leather, brother, while it's on my neck? It's been our blood, it's been our pain, our trauma, our desperate tears screaming at America. You know, you could be better.
Prop, do you think about that a lot? Like future me, past me? Do you think about that a lot? Because that's beautiful.
Man. Yeah, I think in the process of writing, actually the pandemic like really kind of hammered that through of like, you know, before that, you know, you're always, it's like, I felt like, especially as an artist, an independent artist, you're spinning plates all the time. So it's just constant maintenance. So you never really have a chance to like stop for a second and really evaluate, like, do I really want this plate spinning? You know, is this even worth it? You know? So I just kind of sat back and was like, man, like I'm here at home and I'm like, man, this is the best relationship I've ever had with my children. You know, I'm gone at least once a month. You know, I'm like, this is the most time I've ever spent with my kids. Me and my wife are like spending the most time we ever had. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I feel like future me is actually going to like that. You know, future me is like, you just realize like, dog, I was so worried about this gig and the next gig and maybe not getting the next gig. And just after a while, you just like, dang, 10, 11 years later, it's like, it's fine. The gigs come.
Yeah.
Like, what is you so worried about? You know? And so now I'm like, yo, like you need to unlearn some stuff. So that's what I kind of realized, like as me who loves learning, I'm just, insatiably curious, I found that like older me, you know, future me is like more interested in what he's undoing than what he's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'm glad you're doing this project, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
I love the idea of Terraform and all the destruction and loss and pain that so many people have been through, especially in the last few years, but ongoing, you know, kind of building it better from that.
Yeah. And the holistic approach too, man. Like, I feel like, you know, obviously it's cool to have like a book component, you know, Derek's doing like audio components. You know, I remember earlier last year, I bought coffee from you. That was like the Terraform blend, you know, taking that kind of.
Why'd you stop buying it, Jesse? Why'd you just do one? Why didn't you subscribe?
Because it ran out.
Yeah. Limited.
There's no more.
Yeah, limited run. I mean, if you guys know where I can hustle some. I have some. I have an invisible canister where I keep my.
Keep the Terraform.
No, that's why it's ran out.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know, creatively, why did you want to take an approach that isn't just, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's really straightforward that you know, I can read a book about, you know, a specific issue and kind of come away with a certain, you know, perspective on it. But this project is, you know, like I said, it's more holistic and kind of multi-sensory. I can read it, I can hear it, I can taste it. Like, why did you want to take an approach? And what do you feel like? How do you feel like that sort of enhances as an artist and as a creative and as a thinker what you want to express to the people kind of consuming these ideas?
Man, that's a great question, dude. Like, I think there's a couple things. I think first of all, something that's been sort of like a strength and a weakness of my career has been, I just exist in so many different spaces and none of them talk to each other. You know, it's always been very difficult for me to get, you know, all these different worlds into one space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, my coffee people don't know I do podcasts. My podcast people didn't know I rapped. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know,
isn't that weird? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then forget about the conference stuff, the Q conference world and the, you know, and the Catalyst conference, you know what I'm saying? When I'm just coming and doing poetry, they think this is the first gig I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? So
like, look at this new up and coming artist.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was like, it was really like taking a page out of like the Marvel universe, you know what I'm saying? Just where it's idea where it's like, it's a universe, you know what I'm saying? And you need to come into the totality of the space. So it really took a while to like figure out how do I bring all these parts of me into one place and just to be more reflective of like how I see the world, period. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always difficult when people say, yeah, so like, what do you do? You know, I'm like, well, I'm a rapper, but then that's like, I mean, that's like an eighth of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Right. But then you don't want to sound all, you know, annoying like the guy on Clubhouse that's like, oh, I'm an artist, I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and this when I've been doing marketing for this.
You don't want to sound like Derek's intro on Relevant.
You know what I'm saying? It's just where you're just like, really, bro? Do you really do all that? You know what I'm saying? It's so like, relax, dog. Just pick two things, you know? So for me, it's like, I wanted to figure out a way to like make the whole thing, like you said, like, let's carry this whole idea through that it isn't like the book, all this is supporting the book or all this is supporting the album or the coffee is a supplement to this. Like, no, it's all one sort of planet that you're walking into. And I think too, a phrase my wife told me from one of the brilliant feminist philosophers she reads that could be anybody, but just smarter than all of us. But one thing she said was that the personal is political, you know what I'm saying? And that culture can only be as healed as we are. So when you think about that, like, you know, if we're out here protesting, a lot of that has to do with what's going on inside of you. If you out here protesting from rage, oftentimes it's because you're not healed inside of you. You know what I'm saying? For a good, and it might be, you might have got it honestly, you know what I'm saying? But taking care of yourself and holistically, you know what I'm saying, is a part of us seeing systemic change. So,
that's beautiful.
So that's why I was like, yo, this coffee, slowing down, enjoying like what's coming from the soil and taking care of yourself first, you know what I'm saying? In addition to how you see in the rest of the planet, like all of it, music, you know, art, the podcasting, it's all it's all one thing, and it's all helping us see the world better and making a better world. So yeah, it's like, it's supposed to be reflective of this whole universe and of what I would hope for all of us.
And here's what I love about the universe, as far as the book, the audio, and just the idea of terraforming, is it puts the ball in our court, right? It's like you have to actively terraform the people. You have to actively terraform the sky, the soil, the possibility. Like, we have to do something. So I feel like oftentimes people of faith, we're just like waiting for that God in the sky to come down and just fix everything. And it's like, yes, we know that there's going to be redemption from Christ, and that he's going to make the earth whole, but he's going to make it whole through us. Like, it takes us. He's using us, right? And I love that Terraform, like, it really embodies that message. So
thanks, man. Beautiful. I really wanted to make sure that things were much more descriptive instead of prescriptive, like, in the sense that, like you said, where it's like, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, look at this, and there are things that you can do. And
love it.
You tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Terraform comes out on Tuesday, June 8th. The first EP is out now. You can check out Prop's podcast, Hood Politics, on iHeartRadio. He just joined their network. This is really cool. He's doing a lot. If you want to come through the pop-up, it's June 13th at Subculture, right? In Nashville?
Yeah. Subculture Cafe
Subculture Cafe in Antioch. And while you're there, you might see Jamie. You'll see Derek.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Last time I was on the cash register, so
if you bring a set of dominoes with you, you might beat Prop.
Teach me, Prop.
He's very beatable. He's very beatable.
You might get very beatable. Also, before we move on, I just want to shout out Relevant. You guys were the first person to ever like put a podcast mic in my face, and so I really appreciate that. You know, I'll always be able to look at Relevant to be like, y'all started me on that path. Jesse, I remember in the first call when he was like, hey, we want to think about giving you a podcast. And I was like, about what? And then Jesse goes, really? We just like what you think. So it can honestly be about that sort of vote of confidence, I could say, was like a big piece of my trajectory. So not only is Jesse gorgeous, not only is he taller than all of us, not only can he bench press 400 pounds, he also started my podcasting career.
Well, when people actually meet him, they're going to be disappointed, because now they're going to be thinking,
you're very average. You're very average.
And then Jesse will exceed the bar. But
it turns out he's more like a 6. Like, you know, they describe this guy like that.
Really built up here. Yeah, really setting people up for disappointment.
All right, well, we love you, Prop.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys too, man.
Stay tuned. Up next, it's Relevant News. You're listening to Pond. The song is America's Cup. Okay, it's time for Relevant News. Please welcome to the show Relevant Senior Editor Tyler Huckabee, covering what's happening at the intersection of faith and culture. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everybody.
What is going on this week? We've been in Wyoming, so we have no clue. So catch us up.
You didn't miss anything. It's been a very boring week. It is so, and I'm going to need some assists from people in here because a lot of people are going to know more about this world than we're doing another episode where Tyler Huckabee goes to the world of sports to talk about the sporting world.
Sport world with sportsman Sporty Tyler.
Sporty Tyler.
Sporty Tyler is his sport world name.
The Sports with Tyler Huckabee.
Sport with Tyler.
Sport world. Tyler's Sports Corner.
Who wants to talk about sport? And now your nightly sport.
Tyler, what's happening on the basketball court?
What's going on with sport today? Sport.
All right. So what is going on with sport?
Right. So the reason we are talking about sports this time is because of a story that I'd imagine most people saw a little bit of over the week, and that's what's happened with Naomi Osaka, the 23-year-old tennis superstar. who announced on Monday that she's going to be withdrawing from the French Open one day after she was fined $15,000 for not appearing at a press conference due to some concerns she had about her own mental health. So obviously the story was around a lot, but just to give a brief update for anybody like me who doesn't pay a lot of attention usually to the world of sport or tennis.
Well, and let's be fair, there's not that many paying attention to tennis. I mean, the NBA playoffs are going on right now.
Yeah, but she is a very special. Yeah, she's a very, very special athlete.
Well, it's even like you don't have to follow golf. You know Tiger Woods. You know a couple of names. She's one of those names for tennis.
But she is on pace to be. I mean, to be as good as she is at the age that she is. And her dominant style of play is. She's very, very special.
She's risen very quickly in the tennis world, which is kind of why this has become such a red hot topic of conversation and controversy over the week we've had here. So she announced last week that she would be skipping press conferences in an effort to deal with social anxiety and battles that she's had with depression, which she had been experiencing during the 2018 U.S. Open. Now, she had a good reason for this. She announced that she wanted to do it, and yet the heads of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments, that's the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open, chose to fine her for, and this is a quote, choosing to not honor her media obligations. As part of the tournament, players are required to meet with media personnel following their match. But Osaka stated that by skipping the press conference, she was trying to exercise self-care while still participating in the tournament. However, the financial risks apparently played a little bit of a role in choosing to remove herself from the French Open altogether. She was very open on social media about the struggles that she's had. She said she wanted to step away from the tournament altogether so that, quote, everyone can get back to focusing on the tennis going on in Paris. So that was her goal in dropping out altogether, was to take some of the focus off of herself and put it back on the game itself. Now, whether or not the media has allowed that to happen is kind of up for debate, but that was what she tried to do. And it is part of this broader conversation that we've seen, not just in sports world, but across various, with really high players. I think of Prince Harry, this guy stepped away from arguably the most powerful, influential gig in history to say that it wasn't good for his mental health, that he didn't have he felt like the resources available to him in the palace to take care of his own anxiety and depression, which is, as he's talked to Oprah about, and now he's actually joined this company in San Francisco called Better Up, which provides development coaching and mental health counseling, and Prince Harry works for them now as an employee, which is a very big, obviously career-wise, you could say step down, but it shows the way that this generation is prioritizing mental health over these very high-paying, extremely high-profile gigs, which is interesting.
I think this is really great. And I think that she's going to set a precedent because, I think that anyone who's in this high profile position, especially we see these young athletes. We just had the NFL draft, and I think about these 22-year-old babies, becoming superstars and getting millions of dollars, and the pressure that they're under is just unimaginable. And I'm not saying that they were wrong for fining her. I think that's a nuanced conversation that could be changed, but I am sitting here going, I am so stinking proud of her because she forego a title, of winning. She forego money. She gave all that up because she knew that she had to take care of herself. And that takes a lot of maturity. And I think, wow, is what I think about that.
Yeah. And I think for people that don't have a level of influence and pressure, they think that because you have money, influence, and power, that the stakes are lower and that your life is just cushy. You make millions of dollars. What is there to complain for? But it's actually the opposite. It's because you make millions of dollars. Now you're not just thinking about your family, but then there's also other families that you have to think about, and you're holding up so much, especially at that age. I think for someone to say, you know what? The title is not as important as my mental health. Yeah. I think that's good. And obviously, she counted the cost. She said, either I can continue going down this path and I may get a title, but what will I be as a person? Yep. How can I handle it? I think I really hate to see some of the comments that people have, about, spoiled brat or, whatever. If I was there, it's like, don't talk about what you would do if you was there, because you're not there. You know, you don't know what you would do if you were there. Yeah. So
I saw some celebrity tweet that like how interesting that the media is attacking her for saying that I need to distance myself from the media because it affects my mental health. It's like you're proving her point, like all the people who are criticizing her is like validating that she made the right decision for herself.
Yeah, well, and not only that, I mean, it's moves like this that I feel like is going to help culturally for people to see mental health issues the same way they see physical health issue. If there's an athlete out there that, had some sort of, nagging ankle injury, it would be ludicrous to insist that person, that athlete do something that could re-aggravate that injury, right? And when we look at mental health, I think it's going to take people that are in positions of power and that have influence to get, not just like employers out there to say, hey, we should recognize mental health needs. Like no employer would have someone who is dealing with like a physical illness come into the office, right? Like
if you had COVID, you wouldn't be coming to the office.
Yeah. And I think,
or playing at the championship. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And so I think culturally beyond just, people's professional obligations, but how we see mental illness and mental health, I think seeing it the same way we see physical illness and physical health, I think it is a huge step forward. But the only way we're going to be able to make that leap is for courageous people who have a platform to be able to exercise that influence in a way that really shifts the conversation.
Can I ask a question as a sports dummy for you guys, to you people who maybe pay attention to this a little bit more? Every now and then, one of these stories of an athlete, even a very high performing athlete like Naomi, standing up and using their platform to raise attention to an issue. I know Braun has done this a few times. I think of Colin Kaepernick, obviously. Serena has done it too. And it seems like it's always a pretty big tug of war. Like these giant sport conglomerates, institutions just don't move very quickly. As far as I can see, it seems like they're very, very hesitant to be seen as giving in to athletes. Does that ever happen? Like, has an athlete ever successfully sort of moved the conversation and won a significant battle on this sort of public relations front?
I think the NBA is proof that an organization can follow the lead of the players, especially as it relates to racial justice and equality issues, because the NBA said, okay, in the same era that the NFL was suspending players for kneeling, the NBA embraced the leadership of the players in that conversation. As it comes to mental health, it's not as far along. Like this season in the NBA, Kyrie Irving, who plays for the Brooklyn Nets, one of the top players in the NBA, vanished for 2 or 3 weeks in the middle of the season. And he said it was for mental health reasons. And he just did not play. He didn't show up to the games. And he, there were pictures of him just being with his family and stuff. And it was just like, huh. And it was really the same thing in a different context. It wasn't as notable. It wasn't a big announcement. He just vanished, though. And it was really, he said it was for self-care and stuff. I do want to acknowledge, though, some people may be hearing this news and going, well, it must be nice. It must be nice to have so much money that you can turn down more money, right? And I don't have the luxury. I still got to show up my shift. I don't have the luxury. I have a toxic boss. He affects my mental health. I'm miserable. I can't not go without a paycheck, though. And they feel trapped, right? And they don't have the luxury that these millionaires have, right? But the idea that you aren't trapped, that you can change jobs. Maybe you can't just do away with working. You can make proactive changes for your own sake. Everybody has that opportunity in America, that you can change employment and stuff. And so, I want to acknowledge that, they have millions and they have this safety net that they can just kind of say, I'm not going to show up for 2 weeks or whatever. And not everybody has that. But you can and should prioritize your mental health in your vocation, or pick a vocation that fits your mental health better.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. And I would say that we have to, as Prop said, we have to terraform our perspective of mental health, because just because our parents and our grandparents and those before us didn't really prioritize it, it was just like, thug it out. You know what I mean? But think about the cost of that. Think about the traumas that we've endured because our parents, they didn't get a chance to do that. So now that we know that mental health is like, I look back on a lot of these different issues that we would say, especially like in my neighborhood, there were people that were addicted to drugs and different things like that. Now that I understand how mental health is working, I was like, oh, they were medicating mental traumas, right? Yep. And we could say, well, get it together, addict, or hey, just thug it out at your job. It's like, no, don't thug it out at your job. Like if your boss is toxic and if the environment is toxic, like do what you can to escape that job and get to a place, because what's more important to your family than bringing home a paycheck is having mommy and daddy be there and be engaged and be whole. That's way more important than the paycheck. So even if you have to take a pay cut, like we need you, the person. I don't need your money. I need you, the person,
Well, there's a lot more where that came from. I read Relevant's site just to get caught up on all we missed while we were without cell service in Wyoming last week. So thanks for everything you and the team are doing, Tyler. Go check us out at relevantmagazine.com. Follow us on all the socials. All right, and that'll do it for Relevant News. Thanks, Tyler.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, stay tuned. Up next, it's our Quarterlife Conversation with Dr. Peace Amadi. You don't want to miss it.
I thought you said you loved the ocean when we were standing at the shore. You didn't even dip your toes in. I can't believe I just took you home. I'm roasting, just coasting, good mood. Your skin on my skin, posing in a photo booth. The scent of vanilla from your shampoo. And we move only when we have to. We're fresher than.
You're listening to Easy Life. The song is Ocean View. Well, if you've been following along for the last couple months, we've been doing a content series called Quarterlife, specifically focused on the issues and topics that you tackle in your 20s. So it's everything from career to faith, relationships, mental health, wellness, and so much more. We've been talking to well-known authors, entrepreneurs, faith leaders, and other influencers and impactful people. We're doing this series to encourage and inspire you to make the most of this season of life. We're doing a new article every Tuesday and Thursday at relevantmagazine.com. Go check out the Quarterlife section for all the stuff if you haven't been staying connected with it. It's amazing. The Quarterlife series is presented by our friends at UHSM. As you're rethinking everything in your 20s, you should rethink your health care as well. You should go check out what UHSM is doing at UHSM.com. It's unbelievable. I actually was telling a friend about it a couple of days ago. Checked it out. Signed up as family. So, this week's Quarterlife Conversation is with Dr. Peace Amadi. She's a professor of psychology. She's an author, speaker, and coach who helps people heal so they can achieve their full potential. She has a new book out called Why Do I Feel Like This?, where she merges clinical insight and faith inspiration to help people listen to the hidden messages your emotional health is communicating rather than suppressing them. Here's part of our conversation with Dr. Peace Amadi.
Something that you write about a little bit is something that I think a lot of us can relate to, where we get into these cycles of bitterness and resentment and guilt and this unwillingness to forgive ourselves. And I know how easily these can become these swamplands that we get comfortable in, and we can't even really figure out how to get out of them. As someone who studied this a lot, when we start getting into these toxic, destructive mental health cycles, what's the best way to break those cycles and ascend beyond them?
I would start, and I mean when I say this, I would start with first acknowledging what you feel and understanding that there is a reason you feel it. Because I think when we try to move too quick to how do I get out of this, we kind of shoot a bunch of darts like everywhere else but where we need to shoot, because we don't understand why we're feeling it in the first place, however toxic it is. I mean, I talk about envy in the book. I mean, we all know we shouldn't be walking around wanting what everybody else has, but envy is also a very real emotion. And there's a reason, if you're struggling with envy, that you struggle with envy. And so I think Jesus is a compassionate, forgiving, not overwhelmed by how terrible you are in the moment person. And we need to remember that we can be honest with whatever it is we're feeling, regardless of what we've heard about that feeling, whether it be, like I said, envy, depression, shame, guilt, whatever the case may be. So start there. What is the feeling? And where do you think that comes from? Like, what do you think this is about? I think those two questions, what am I feeling and what do I think this is about, is a great place to start. Because if we can't dig in to what's creating this, what need is not being met, what trauma is coming back up in my life, where am I being triggered and why am I being triggered? What unresolved issue, is coming back up right now? If we can't answer those questions, we're not going to get to the end of the journey.
Okay, so here's something that I think a lot of people of faith have a fear when they start looking at counselors and therapists, that they're going to get a counselor or a therapist and that person isn't going to understand their spirituality. They're not going to understand their religious beliefs. In your experience, is that something that's important to find in a counselor, or how relatively reassured can we be if we're looking for help when we go to a counselor, a therapist, a psychologist, or whatever, that person is going to be sensitive to the faith part of our identity?
So here's the thing. Our faith is something to be incredibly proud of. It's beautiful. It is our strength. It is our strength. It is our anchor. And that isn't something that you ever need to feel that needs to be minimized or held back when you're seeking any kind of help or support. So I specifically say to people, when you're looking for help, when you're looking for support, when you're looking for a therapist and you're consulting, tell them, I am a person of faith. My faith is important to me. I see the world through these lenses. Is that something that's going to be a problem, or is that something we can explore? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a therapist that is open to that and supportive of that, and will know how to deal with that, because guess what? We're, as a mental health professional, we're also trained to take all of a person, all of their worldview, all of what anchors them, and to explore how that intersects with their health and healing journey.
That was Dr. Peace Amadi. Go read the rest of that conversation. There's so much more over at the Quarterlife section at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to check out her book, Why Do I Feel Like This? It's available now. All right, well, stay tuned. Up next, we tell you all about the brand new issue of Relevant. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to Secret. The song is Mirror. Well, since 2003, every few months, every couple months, we do a thing called a magazine. If you've been following along, you know that at the end of 2019, we put our legacy print edition on hiatus to retool it and rethink about what magazine long form content looked like moving forward for us. Well, last fall in September, we debuted our digital issues. We were doing bi-monthly digital issues every 2 months, 10 features. It was online, and there you go. Well, our plans have evolved, ladies and gentlemen, and we are very excited for the first time to tell you about the new era of Relevant. What is debuting on Monday is our summer issue. Why summer issue? Because we are evolving to 4 quarterly editions of the digital magazine. When we were doing bi-monthly, it was probably about 10 features in each, 9 or 10 features in each edition. Our quarterly edition will have a 50% increase in features. We will have 15 features in each edition. No matter what you like about Relevant, whether it's the faith content, the culture content, the justice content, the life content, there's more of it. That's why we're doing this. The entire issue is presented ad-free, for free, by our friends at UHSM. So when you go to relevantmagazine.com, you click right there on the magazine tab, you will see on Monday morning the summer issue of Relevant, and we are going to tell you about it now. So joining us are Relevant's senior editor, Tyler Huckabee. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
And the newest member of the Relevant editorial team, our associate editor, Emily Brown.
Hello.
We call her Downtown Emily Brown.
Downtown Emily Brown.
It's not true.
This is Emily's first. This is the podcast listeners' first real meeting of Emily, I think, right? Unless you've been over at the site, you've probably seen her name pop up a few times, but welcome to the show, Em.
Yeah, she's only been with us for a few weeks, and we have big plans for you podcast listeners to get to know her. You're going to start hearing her doing more interviews. She'll come on the show more. Very excited to have her on our team. A lot of the social media stuff that you're seeing come from us and is her. She's a great editor and writer, and we are thrilled to have her. She jumped right in on this issue, so she'll be part of this discussion, and we wanted her to join us. So okay, so the big news, the cover of our summer issue is none other than one of our favorite actresses and comedians, Yvonne Orji. You know her from the hit HBO show Insecure. She had a big HBO stand-up special this past year, and some really cool things she's working on some really cool things right now. So she's our cover story. Tyler, tell us a little bit about the Yvonne conversation.
Yeah, Yvonne's been on our radar Relevant for a while because of to find somebody who's at this level of her game, and also this outspoken about her faith is obviously a line drive for us. Also, was extremely excited to hear that she's working with Oprah and our friend David Oyelowo on a new series about her own life story over at Disney Plus that'll tell her story as a first-generation immigrant. So it's been cool to see where she's come. Really excited to see where she's going, and she was super open with us about how she feels like this has been sort of divinely arranged for her.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I've really loved Insecure since the show started. So it's been fun.
It is a very inappropriate show. How can you love something?
How did this not come up in the interview?
In the interview.
We usually screen these applicants out.
Rate this show on a scale from 1 to 10.
Oh, geez. I like the show. I'll change it. I've liked the show from the beginning because it's very funny and it's very witty. And so I'm excited for her next steps because I feel like the show is going to end in a really good spot. And it's going to kind of like sum up a lot of kind of her character's journey. So I'm happy with that character ending, and I'm excited to see like what new characters she'll play in the future. She's super funny. And just seems really cool and down to earth. So I'm excited for her. I can't wait to see what she does. And loves Jesus a lot, which is awesome.
A lot. Yeah, it's really, that's the unusual thing. Especially if you saw season 1 of Insecure. Her character is like, wait, that's the Christian? The actual Christian?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more in the issue. A quick overview. Here we go. Ready? On the faith side of things, we talked to some of the most amazing leaders. We have a conversation with Christine Caine, who Relevant readers know the Queen, Christine Caine.
Queen Chris, yeah. She talked about just something that I think we've all gone through, which is a really difficult season and just a season of drifting and not even knowing that you're drifting from the Lord, but how to fight that way back close with the Lord, I think is something that, especially with this last year, all of us have probably in so many ways we don't even know yet, have drifted from things that we never thought we would drift from. I mean, I love Christine Caine, so I was so excited to write this story because, I mean, she's had an impact in my walk. So it's cool to write that.
All of us.
We also talked to if she's the Queen, is he the Godfather? TD Jakes is in the piece or in the issue.
The Bishop.
The Bishop. There you go. One of our faith heroes too. I mean, and people have mixed feelings about TD's message. Perception. If people don't like listen to his teaching a lot, they can just kind of like dismiss it as prosperity gospel or it's flashy or whatever. But TD Jakes is one of those faith leaders that really has substance and it's worth listening to. And so we talked to him about actually divisive culture.
Yeah. And I was getting to talk to somebody of TD Jakes' legacy is always like just so cool. And he was extremely very on the pulse about where he feels like this nation and our generation, younger generation, millennials, Gen Z are in particular, regarding a very divisive culture we're in. And I thought that his wisdom about how to overcome that, the steps that he feels like we need to take to sort of overcome this divisiveness, not the prescription you're used to hearing from a lot of people. He has sort of a fresh take on it. Excited to share that one with people for sure.
We have a lot more. So I told you we have 15 features. We're talking about 3. Yeah. So we're going to fly through these.
We can't cover them all.
So we can't cover them all. So we talked to John Acuff, author and, kind of startup guy and impact guy on unlocking your potential in life, especially in the Quarterlife, kind of like this reset that we've all gone through. It's our summer issue. So we have our summer reading guide, which is one of our favorite things to put together every year. So highlighting some of our favorite new book releases, some of our favorite authors. We have some Q&As with it. We talked to one of our favorite artists, hip hop artists, Sho Baraka, but we aren't really talking about his new music. This guy is such a thought leader in so many areas. We wanted to kind of go in a different direction with our conversation with Sho.
He's pursuing a really interesting idea of creativity, not just as a hobby or even as a calling necessarily, but as sort of a tool to fight injustice. And I think that that's something that we don't really think about a lot. We think a lot about different ways of resistance, different ways of advocating for people who are on the business end of injustice. And I love this idea of using your creativity and artistry to combat injustice.
We tackle how the church talks about sex and how that approach that we all kind of grew up under has actually harmed women. Emily, this is a piece that you took on. Tell us about it.
I think it's going to be eye-opening, quite honestly, for a lot of male readers. I don't think it's going to be that eye-opening for a lot of female readers, because I think as women read it, they're going to recognize like, oh yeah, that's how it's always been talked about in the church. Just the way that sex has been talked is very much through a male lens. It's a tough read, but I would really suggest everyone to read it because it's very important, and it's something that needs to be talked about and needs to be addressed and worked through in order for just the health of the church in general to kind of grow and get better.
Yeah. And, the phenomenon from a couple years ago, the Preachers and Sneakers Instagram account that kind of, highlighted some brow wrinkling aspects of, cool church culture. We talked to the guy behind the account. The mask has come off. He wrote a book, and we get to talk, and not hiding behind the veil of anonymity with the guy who started it all and his thoughts on, celebrity pastor culture and stuff, and how the church should be, not how it is. And another piece and the justice side of things is we tackle the border crisis and the Christian perspective on immigration and what to do about what's happening in America's southern border.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're talking about this in this issue. I think that this was during the previous administration, many other organizations it was very important to us to raise what was happening at the southern border, and our responsibility as Christians to continue to be welcoming, to be open, to be gracious with the immigrants who come. And I think that issue has sort of gotten a little bit lost with the new administration, even though it's still very much a thing. There are still more kids coming to the southern border than we know what to do with, and that has resulted in some very inhumane and not particularly Christian treatment that they find when they arrive here. So we at Relevant obviously want to continue to talk about how important that is, and I hope that we can be part of motivating the church to continue to talk about that as well.
So we mentioned we have Sho Baraka in the issue. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. We also have Cautious Clay. I don't know what genre is he? He's indie, he's R&B, he's alt. I don't alt R&B.
I just wrote a whole piece about him, and I still don't know how to do it. You just got to listen to it. He's great.
Indie,
I feel like you
R&B.
could say indie, and that covers a lot.
All right. Anyway, here's a little bit of Cautious Clay. We also have, let's go on the other end of the indie spectrum. We talked to William Fitzsimmons, singer, songwriter, folk, kind of roots.
Yeah, he's folksy.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got the sad songs in the woods about girls,
Sad songs in the woods about girls. That's exactly what it is. All right, here we go. Here's a little William Fitzsimmons.
I watched you turn away, but now it seems cliche that maybe you were young.
Okay, one of the artists that's absolutely blowing up right now in the indie scene, but not just because of her new album, but like a book and other things. I mean, this is an artist that you're going to hear everywhere from Pitchfork to Relevant to Wait, Don't Tell Me on NPR. As I'm driving Saturday morning a few weeks ago, I couldn't believe it. We have a feature with Japanese Breakfast.
Her new album comes out today, actually. As you all are listening to this, you can go check out Jubilee on Spotify. It should. I think it'll be one of the best albums of the year.
We also have, listen, our first cover of our digital issue era last fall had two guys on the cover, Chandler Moore and Dante Bowe. Maverick City Music was our very first cover story. Well, Dante has released a solo album. It's excellent. It's different than the Mav City stuff. And so we talked to him about his solo project. Here is a clip of Dante's new music.
I'm gonna be joyful. I'm gonna be joyful. I'm gonna be joyful. Yes, I am. I'm gonna be joyful.
All right. And last but definitely not least, this is like one of the all-time guys. Like one of the all-time guys. This guy, this band.
I love this guy. Yeah.
This band performed in the Relevant Studio in 2005. Okay. And we recorded it and stuff for the podcast. And it became a friend over the years. And then whoever does the music at Grey's Anatomy came across their stuff. And if you have watched any Grey's Anatomy in the last decade, you have heard the music of Sleeping at Last. That pinnacle moment at the end of an episode where it's so moving and this gorgeous song just wraps it all up. That's Sleeping at Last. It's unbelievable.
That's Ryan.
So we have, but Ryan, Sleeping at Last has also been releasing some amazing stuff that's not on Grey's Anatomy. A lot of people know the Enneagram Project and stuff like that. So we talked to him about his new stuff.
Yeah, honestly, he's one of I would credit, I think we all have those little things during the pandemic that helped us feel human and alive in the middle of all of that. Sleeping at Last music definitely did that for me and for my wife. Loved getting to talk to him about that. And I think you'll love to hear his thoughts too. Here's a clip.
We are beautiful, we belong. Please hear our unheard song.
All right, so that's the 15 features in the summer issue of Relevant. It is available on Monday morning. If you go to relevantmagazine.com, just click on the magazine tab. It's right there. It is presented ad-free and for free because of UHSM. Go thank them by checking out what they're doing. It's amazing. Healthcare sharing. They're just revolutionizing the entire industry over there. Good people. So go check it out. The summer issue of Relevant. Well, many thanks to Prop for joining us today. Go check out his new book, Terraform, when it comes out on Tuesday. It releases June 8th. And also check out his first EP in the Terraform series. You don't want to miss it. It's great. Thanks also to Dr. Peace Amadi for joining us for the Quarterlife Conversation. You can go check out her book. It's available right now. And while you're, in the Quarterlife frame of mind, head over to relevantmagazine.com. Check out the Quarterlife section presented by UHSM. While you're there, you can grab our new free ebook. It's called the Quarterlife Handbook. It's a free download. It features amazing insight, practical advice from leaders ranging from Shauna Niequist, Christine Kane, Scott Harrison, many others. It's available for free thanks to UHSM. Go do that. And while you're at the site, make sure to go check out the brand new digital edition of Relevant Magazine. 15 amazing features you do not want to miss. It's available for free thanks to UHSM. over at relevantmagazine.com. Tell your friends, help us spread the word on social media. We really appreciate it. On that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Jamie Ivey.
And yeehaw!
The white delegate, Derek Minor. We will see you next Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
I just sold some great invisible artwork.
Relevant Podcast Network.